Here.
Gershenson,
Here.
Lubes,
Here.
Taylor. Here. Hoffman,
Present.
Erickson Gold.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. I'll just lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just want to, first of all, just thank everyone for your flexibility and coming in early. I really appreciate it. You're all wonderful and gracious and flexible, more than I can say for the court that I'm going to be appearing in front of at 10 a.m. So thank you so much. So next we have approval of the minutes. Any corrections, changes? Somebody like to move for approval? Commissioner Lubes moves, Commissioner Taylor seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Next we have approval of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda, moved by Commissioner Lubes, seconded by Commissioner Hoffman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so now we're at our public comment session. Anyone who wishes to speak in public comment, we're going to ask you to go to the end of the table and you will have 3 minutes. We're under a tight schedule this morning, so I'm going to be pretty aggressive about enforcing the 3-minute rule.
These are items on the agenda.
Oh, yes. No, we only have one public comment at this meeting, so this could be about anything under the sun.
Okay, I stand corrected.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. For the record, I would like it publicly noted that I am in attendance at today's Legislative Affairs and Government Operations meeting and am prepared to fully participate in the committee's business. I respectfully request that this fact be reflected in the official minutes of this meeting. On July 18th, I received a letter from the board chair and the chair of the Democratic Caucus informing me that I am no longer a member of this committee. However, under the current board rules, this action lacks authority. The board rules clearly state that any changes to committee assignments must be made by action of the full Board of Commissioners and only upon recommendation from this committee, the Legislative Affairs and Government Operations Committee. The chair of the Board of Commissioners does not have unilateral authority to remove members from standing committees until and unless the full board acts on a recommendation properly brought through this committee. I remain a duly assigned member. I am here in good faith to fulfill my responsibilities as an elected official and to participate in this committee's work on behalf of the residents of Oakland County, especially my constituents in District 10. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Good morning, Fabrice.
Hi everyone, Fabrice Miauskas, Troy resident. So I'm very happy to see we have 2 resolutions before us today at this board meeting, at this committee meeting for peace. And just want to make a few comments on both of them from Commissioner Hoffman. Very grateful to see the resolution that you sponsored. A few of the highlights I think of this one, really commenting on the personal sort of dimensions of violence, mentioning the heartbreaking consequences of violence, children growing up in fear, communities torn apart, lives lost too soon, effects that stretch across generations, causing deep grief, trauma, and displacement. Also mentioning that Oakland County has a proud tradition of standing with those impacted, such as through Genocide Awareness Month. And mentioning at the end that we are promoting peace and upholding human dignity are values that transcend politics. And this is something that affects me greatly and really moves me to come to at 8:30 meetings such as this one, because I feel like that's been lost often, upholding human dignity versus sort of politics. And so I think these are strengths of Commissioner Hoffman's resolution. Also very happy to see that Brendan Johnson sponsored a resolution as well. and just want to comment, this is a newer one, I just want to comment on some of the highlights of this one in my view. You know, this comes from the Democratic Party side. In the Democratic Party, we've had 10 local Democratic clubs and party branches, including Troy and South Lyon in Oakland County, as well as 2 Michigan Democratic Party caucuses and 1 Dem-affiliated advocacy group, statewide Indivisible, which have all issued statements in the past week and a half about calling for peace worldwide, similar to these resolutions. So this is much needed from the Democratic side. And I think some of the highlights of this one include sort of commenting on military comments and violence around the world in various places. I did not know that Oakland County is home to numerous consulates and foreign diplomats. So important to mention that, and also to link it to the proposal of an Oakland County diplomatic engagement study group, which I think would be fantastic, that also will liaise with municipalities such as Troy. And I think we'd have Troy residents that would be eager to be involved in that. And one last thing, really commenting that Oakland County affirms the fundamental principles of international law. I think we see Brendan Johnson's influence here. The Geneva Conventions, international on hostages, international law, the Chemical Weapons Convention, showing that we adhere to global values and are not sort of just American-centric law and American-centric values.
Thank you for bringing something. Morning.
Good morning. My name is Suhair Ganam. I live in Huntington Woods. I would reiterate what Fabrice has just said. We encourage that we have both resolutions put on the floor for a vote at the commission meeting next week. It is very important. We are witnessing dark times that will be remembered for many generations. In 20 or 30 years, what will be remembered is your leadership. At this moment when a genocide, starvation is happening with American funds, with American weapons, with American cover. What does leadership mean to you at this very dark moment? Think of what is this resolutions or both resolutions, an action could mean to children who are hungry in Gaza and have no choice but to walk 10 kilometers barefoot to one of the American food distribution centers, taking a risk to be shot, and that happened many times, too many times. At least give humanity to these children with ribs poking their skin, with hollowed eyes in their tired faces. Maybe this will soothe the mother that has no milk in her breasts to give her starving infants. Maybe these resolutions have a chance to write history, that some people did care about humanity, that this commission is working to overcome double standards. If forced starvation happened anywhere else in the world, what would you have done? Maybe there is some humanity. Please vote to have both resolutions on the floor for vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wanted to speak at public comment? Morning.
Good morning. My name is Susan Farquhar, and I am a longtime resident of Pontiac's Indian Village neighborhood. I also was a child in and of the great social movements from the 1960s. As a result, I support an Oakland County World Peace Resolution because, quite frankly, I can't remember a time when our country hasn't been at war or funding one. In the 1960s and until the mid-1970s, we viewed US soldiers and millions of Vietnamese people being killed right from our living room TVs to rid the world of communism, even when the leaked Pentagon papers later revealed our intelligence agencies knew they could never win. As a young adult finding my way in the world in the 1980s, I began to learn of the horrors of US intervention in Central America, where millions of our tax dollars were spent, millions more died, and words like disappeared and death squads filled our newspapers. While a middle-aged woman, I joined the thousands of people around the world and here at home to protest the war in Iraq that killed hundreds of thousands of Iraqis and thousands of US soldiers, all for a lie about weapons of mass destruction on the taxpayer dime, lots of dimes. Now, as a retiree, I see our country yet again involved in the 21st century's first genocide, and if it isn't ended soon, Holocaust, where small children, the elderly, and disabled are already beginning to starve to death, and most of the Palestinian Gaza Strip has been reduced to rubble. I, the people in this room, and those suffering in them are sick and tired of endless war and US complicity in them. Vast and wealthy Oakland County could and should be a force for initiating peace and diplomacy. Let's do this. Thank you.
Buenos dias. Good morning. My name is Mike Flores, and I am from Troy, and I am Oakland County. I'm here urging you to approve both the World Peace and diplomatic leadership resolutions and help bring them to the full board for a vote. These resolutions represent more than policy and procedure. Together, they are an opportunity for Oakland County to lead with clarity, courage, and compassion at a time when moral leadership is desperately needed. The World Peace Resolution introduced by Commissioner Hoffman is about values. It reaffirms who we are, a county that believes in the dignity of all people, that chooses compassion over cruelty, and that refuses to be silent when the world is in pain. This resolution doesn't point fingers, it opens hearts, it centers humanity, and it tells our community, we see you, we hear you, and most importantly, you matter. The diplomatic leadership resolution introduced by Commissioner Johnson offers something equally important, direction. It recognizes that Oakland County is not just a bystander on the world stage. We are home to diplomats, international communities, and families globally connected. This resolution outlines a real plan for engagement, understanding, and long-term leadership. Together, these resolutions don't just speak for Oakland County, they position Oakland County as a model of what ethical local governance looks like during times of global peace and crisis that impacts all of our communities. We know the critics, we know the critiques. This is symbolic, this isn't a role, this could be controversial, but I want to remind you, every meaningful act of justice is controversial when it begins. And I assure you that there will be a day, if it isn't already here, when it will be far more controversial to have remained silent during a genocide than it ever was to speak out. We already have heard voices from our community for nearly 18 months, and now it's time for Oakland County governance to act. Let this be the moment that Oakland County does not flinch. Let this committee demonstrate the moral leadership that we all want and need. Not tomorrow, not when the moment is right, but right now. We look forward to seeing bipartisan leadership from both Democratic and Republican commissioners to move both resolutions forward. Let it come to the full board. Let Oakland County lead. Gracias, and thank you for your time this morning.
De nada.
Yes.
Is there anyone else wanting to speak at public comment?
I do.
Want to speak at public comment?
Yes, I do. I want Kristen Nelson seated in her rightful seat.
That's a
No,
motion.
no, listen to me. She has a right to be there. She was elected by her constituents, and I have to tell you, if someone did to each and every one of you what Dave Woodward did to her, you know who'd stand by your side? Kristen Nelson and Charlie Cavell and me. She needs to be here. We're violating board rules, and she needs to participate. She was elected by her constituents, not by the chairman of the board. Unless you want to each state why you want to violate the board rules, then I wanna hear it, but she needs to sit over there and she needs to participate and represent her constituents like we all do, and she needs to vote just like we do. What do I hear? Can she, go ahead.
This is not a time for discussion. This is public comment. If you wanna comment further, by all means, but we're not going to have a discussion on that right now.
Okay, when are we gonna have a discussion? She's a member of this committee.
You would need to make a motion and we're not at that part of the agenda.
Make a motion to put her, allow her to do what she has a rightful thing to do? You want a motion?
No, I don't.
Okay,
This is-
how do
this is-
you wanna handle this,
This is
Madam Chair?
decided by, you're out of order. We're not deciding that right now. This
When
is,
are we deciding it?
not right now.
What does that mean? Does that mean in the next 3 minutes or the half hour or what?
Does anyone else have something to say for public comment? Hearing none, public comment is closed. Moving on to item 7. 7A, 2025 supplemental collective bargaining agreement for employees represented by the United Auto Workers, Local 889, representing the Treasurer's Office. Good morning.
Good morning. Dan Penremmer, sorry.
I'm sorry, we need a motion to, moved by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Gershenson. Thank you.
Sorry. I'm Dan Penremmer, Chief of Labor Relations here for Oakland County. I handle, along with my team and my department, all of our labor negotiations. I'm here before you to, as the agenda items specified, speak on the supplemental agreement for the Treasurer's Office. And it's supervisory and non-supervisory. Just by way of background, the UAW has 2 groups, supervisors and non-supervisory. This one impacts both, and it allows them to be folded into the primary agreement that's been in existence since October of last year. As you know, this body was integral in approving that agreement. So if I may, in the interest of being as brief as possible, I know that I'm very sympathetic to a 10 a.m. Cutoff, so I certainly won't go up to that point, but I would like to walk you through some of the items in this very briefly, just in case there are any questions. The only other item that I would ask is I do have with me another supplemental agreement that was also authored. It did not make it in on time for the agenda. I would ask that it possibly be considered for walking on, but if that is not the appetite of this body, I understand that as well, and we can place that on the next appropriate board agenda. That one, just by way of background, is the IT department, Department of Information Technology, non-supervisory. But why don't we take one at a time? I'll start with the Treasurer's Office. As you can see in front of you, there is a wage scale that speaks to all of the classifications. Those are the positions. Not all of those are full. So just because you see a classification there doesn't mean it's tied necessarily to an employee, but if one of those future employees, a new hire, comes into that classification, they would be a member of the union. So that's why we kind of put openings on these supplements as well. The rest of it, I feel, although these are dangerous words, is relatively self-explanatory. Personal leave, they'll be granted 10 additional personal leave days in accordance with the agreement. We're already in compliance with ESTA, but this is a benefit that the UAW bargained for. And the hybrid and remote work section, which everyone may already be familiar with, it's parroted from the other supplements that I've bored you with in the past. And that speaks to each employee is permitted to work a hybrid schedule with the approval of management. So there are some positions here, unfortunately, that are unfortunately or not, but are outward facing. They deal with the public every day. Very difficult to greet the public from a remote workstation. That's an example of one position that would be ineligible to work hybrid. But for the vast majority of them, mostly office clerical work, that option would be available to them. I know I kind of blew through that purposefully. Are there any questions that the board has? I'm happy to answer them.
Commissioner Joliet.
I'm sorry, if you can restate the beginning when you said, so when new hires come on,
Yes.
they're automatically enrolled in the UAW?
That is correct. So the position, the union membership follows the position, not the person.
And is that not the way that it currently is?
That is the way that it currently is.
Oh,
I just wanted,
okay.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I probably over-explained and created.
That's all right, I just
created
wanted
confusion. Yeah, so,
clarification. Okay.
yeah, no, that's the wage scale. I just wanted to draw the distinction and make sure that people knew that not necessarily all those are full with a body
Okay,
just yet.
gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
It's a good question.
Any other questions? All right, can you prompt the vote?
There's 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Great, that motion passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and then am I to assume that I should place the next one on a future agenda? Is that fair? Especially in light of the time.
No, we're moving ahead with 7B if you are presenting on that one.
Oh, no, does that mean that you, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you. 7B is implementing the salary administration plan, third quarterly report for fiscal year 2025. Do I have a motion? Moved by Commissioner Gershenson, second by Commissioner Lubes. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing this on the agenda today. Before you is the Human Resources Department Salary Administration Plan third quarterly report for fiscal year 25. This covers all studies that were completed through June of 2025. And the results will be effective August 23rd, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Period calling the full board.
Okay. On this report, we have 3 studies. One classification retitle with a salary change that affects one position within risk management, and salary grade changes on 2 classifications, one which is a part-time position within Parks and Rec and one with a full-time position within Corporation Counsel. And we'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right, can you prompt the vote?
You have 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Great, that one passed. Thank you. Now we're moving on to 8A, which is grant to the city of Troy for $250,000 for an inclusive playground at Bowland Park. Do I have a motion? Moved by Commissioner Lube, second by Commissioner Gershenson. Good morning.
Morning, Madam Chair.
First team, and special welcome to a familiar face in the city of Troy.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for taking up this item. It is a $250,000 grant to the city of Troy to support an inclusive park project in Bowland Park, which will be matched by the city in the amount of $632,000 and $632,608. I would have put in the extra $8 if I agreed on that to support this. I want to introduce my new deputy director, and thank you for approving the position, Alan Jaros. And I have with me Kurt Bovensiepe, who is the director of Public Works for the city of Troy, under which Parks and Recreation is organized there, and he can share a little bit more about the project with you. Kurt?
Thank you, Director. Thank you for having me. So, you know, if you, some of you do know me personally, inclusiveness is a part of my life. You know, my family sponsors the big event at Troy Days, which is we set aside an entire Thursday morning for kids with special needs that come play on the rides and take experience and all that. So this is a passion of mine, and in my role, I get this opportunity to kind of display those passions. So the Inclusive Park was an idea that started a couple of years ago. We were going to use our community development block grant funds. We love our alphabet partner agencies at the federal level, but the park we chose originally, it didn't meet the sound requirements. And HUD has the same requirements as if you were to build a house, as if you were to build a park. So we looked at alternatives. Bowland Park was the alternative. It's a play structure that was installed almost 25 years ago. It was our first ADA accessible play structure. It had ramps, but we knew it was time to replace. Being an able-bodied person, we didn't want me designing that play structure, so we partnered with the ARC of Oakland County. We met with parents, we met with end users of the park to really design a really inclusive area for kids and young adults to play at. And not only that, for parents to take assurance that their kids would be safe in the area. So the whole design was with their help. Again, we were able to use our community development block grant funds for several years. That's the matching dollars we're using now. It is an overall $2 million project. It is designed in phases. That includes the play structure, the fencing, the pathways, the landscaping, and a comfort station, a restroom to be able to assist the people playing there. So this is with the help of Oakland County. This will push us to phase 2. This will better prepare us to move on. It's a total of 7 phases. So we're very anxious to look for other opportunities to continue this program. We anticipate using our future community development block grant dollars for this inclusive play area. I'd be happy to answer any questions if there was any.
I'll just simply state that we're also trying to work pretty hard to get to our population centers and especially communities that contribute quite a bit to our millage. And our chair today does a great job of advocating for the city of Troy, as does Commissioner Lubes as well. And so I'm pleased to move this forward on behalf of Oakland County Parks. It'll be before the Parks Commission tomorrow at their meeting.
Any questions? Oh, great. I'm very excited about this project. I know it's been a long time in the works, so glad to see it moving forward. Could you prompt the vote?
You have 6 yeas, 0 nays?
Great.
Thank you.
It's been approved. And then we have another parks proposal, 8B, interlocal partnership agreement between Oakland County and the Waterford School District. Moved by Commissioner Hoffman, seconded by Commissioner Lubes.
Thank you again. I'm very pleased and happy to bring this item before you today. I think this is a very positive story about partnership opportunities in local government agencies working together for public good. It pertains to a 79.5 acre property owned by the Waterford School District, originally purchased to be a future high school that, given enrollment numbers, doesn't look likely to happen at any time in the future. It's also located next to the beautiful Hoffman Farms or Hoffman Nursery, right?
Cross the street,
down the road. So maybe Bob could provide some landscaping for the school district, providing the property for free. It is a 30-year operations and management agreement. There is no cost to the county for acquisition or use of the property. That allows us to put all of the funding into improvements to make it accessible for people to enjoy. It is adjacent to the OCC campus that is subject of a lot of conversation. Waterford Township is taking on the southern half of it. We've made an offer for the northern part of it. That hasn't come to fruition yet, but they are going to be doing some community engagement later this fall, so that may be a subject for further conversation. But a lot of citizen activism has been around this as well, because it is a beloved nature area for especially walking your dogs. There was a teacher at OCC, Llewellyn Woofter, who was a 40-year biology teacher who used this as her outdoor classroom. So we really want to honor that and make this a great space for hands-on learning, nature discovery, experiences, environmental learning, that type of thing. But we haven't gotten too far into the planning process yet because we didn't know whether this was going to come together until recently. I'm pleased that the Waterford School Board voted unanimously for this agreement. The working title is Discovery Oaks, working name of it so far. We'll see. It's going to go through the Parks Commission again tomorrow, and we'll get their feedback on that and talk with the school district as well. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions? Would you prompt the vote, please?
You have 6 yeas, 0 nays?
Great, that motion passes as well. Thank you, Chris. All right, moving on to item 9A, reaffirming Oakland County's role in diplomatic leadership. Moved by Commissioner Hoffman, seconded by Commissioner Lubes.
Well, could I make a comment? Maybe we can combine both of them, because I think we all agree on.
I don't want to combine them.
Okay, well, I talked to Brent, okay, that's fine. I talked to Brendan Johnson, he said if we all wanna sign on to his, and I feel the same way about mine. He said we're welcome to do that too, and I don't have any problem with that, and I don't have any problem with his, resolution.
Well, you know, the difficulties is Commissioner Johnson's not here to assist with any editing that would be required to merge them together. And, you know, fortunately, it looks like time is not quite an issue anymore, but my concern is that the process of editing two different resolutions together would derail the meeting and.
No, I'm not talking about meshing them together, I'm talking about vote for both of them.
Oh, linking
Two
them.
separate ones, because they both speak to the same thing.
I would not support that. So, well, let's.
Okay, that's fine, I just wanted to throw it
Yes.
out.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you bringing forward your resolution, because that's what got all this ball rolling, so thank you. So Commissioner Johnson unfortunately is not here to speak to his resolution. He had a personal matter he had to deal with this morning. He did send me a statement very early this morning that I hope was distributed to the commissioners. I don't know if it was or not.
I don't think I got it.
So by email?
Oh, okay.
I can forward it, but it was just sent to you and me and Michael.
Why don't you read it?
Yeah. Why don't you, let's see if I.
As long as it's not longer than the
Read
resolution.
it off my phone. I got new glasses, so I should, oh, here it is, right here. I got it pulled up already. All right, dear colleagues, my apologies for being out today of all days. I am in a temporary coma right now for a surgery. I won't go into details about his surgery, but originally scheduled for Thursday, had to reschedule. And he appreciates you forgiving him for his absence. Resolution before you today entitled Reaffirming Oakland County's Role in Diplomatic Leadership is very dear to me. While it accomplishes several things I've been wanting to see done for some time now on this board, the premise is one action laid forward in title itself, reaffirming our role in foreign affairs as Oakland County. Many folks, myself included, have been lamenting for months or years, that the role of county government is extremely limited in the carrying on of foreign policy in the United States. Believe me, of course, I wish our role were greater, but simply it's not.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry.
No worries. This resolution, however, does seek to draw out a signal from the noise and highlight the very real, albeit small, role we do play in foreign affairs, and that is as host to many diplomatic missions and foreign officers stationed here in one of the world's best metropolitan areas. In my time working in foreign affairs and in watching and speaking with my colleagues across the nation, I know what a good host community can look like. One that engages with its diplomatic corps and seeks to be an active catalyst for building increasing bridges between those officers and our neighborhoods. I hope this study group can help identify where and how we can build those bridges here, not only as a superficial sign of hospitality, but indeed to strengthen our region's standing as a global leader. This is the one concrete action we can do right here, right now in Oakland County to make global connections better. But I cannot in good conscience ignore the tremendous weight of what more I wish we could do, I think. For all the power we may think we have as Oaklanders, as Michiganders, as Americans, as folks with good education, good jobs, good incomes, as well-fed, well-fed, and well-said, there is so much we cannot do to ameliorate the great horrors of the world. Even when caused by other humans, we in Pontiac cannot end war, famine, anarchy, or ethnic cleansing across the world. Our job in these instances is to watch, listen, grieve, and open ourselves to join our hearts in the great shared circle of humanity. And so I offer the majority of the resolution, an imperfect collection of words on a page as an imperfect bandage on a ravaged limb. And while carefully grounded in international law and current with the well-tread tenets of U.S. foreign policy, It is simply inadequate when measured besides impossible loss of civilian life. Nevertheless, the importance is in the loving, in seeing our toolbox, however limited it may be in the circumstance, through a heart that beats openly and try to right the situation in our little corner of the world however we can. Colleagues, I hope you will see that I have made great effort in crafting this resolution. Many of you from both sides of the aisle have impaired your suggestions upon it too, and I am grateful for the careful consideration through which it has grown stronger. This is a culmination of tremendous effort by so many in this room and outside of it, and I'm grateful to everyone's efforts. The world is already made better by their love. Thank you, colleagues, and I urge a yes vote. Wow, a lot of words.
That was longer than the resolution.
It was. That was a little.
Well, I would like to add my name to his also, and he said everybody's welcome to do that. I talked to him yesterday.
I don't. Do what?
I'm sorry, this is not public comment, but
No, it's not public comment, it's not public comment.
Commissioner Hoffman's name to be added.
Ma'am, you're out of order. Did someone want to, are you making a motion to add your name to his
And
resolution?
anybody else who wants to join
There's a
it.
procedure to do that, I don't remember what it is.
You know,
But I think
Commissioner Lutz.
at the board meeting.
Historically, at the board meeting,
Yeah.
we've all
Yeah.
Oh, we
requested
could
to
do it
have
then.
our
Yeah.
names
Yeah.
on
That's
there.
fine then.
Why don't we take that up?
That's fine, good idea.
We'll just pass this, we'll vote on it. We'll vote on it, on whether it passes through, and if it passes through to the board, then we can address it at that
Yeah.
time. And frankly, I would love to join it as well. I was very moved by his resolution, which, speaking as someone who, and some here can testify, frequently says, I believe in staying in my lane, and international politics is not my lane. I do appreciate his sentiments and absolutely support the resolution. Any other comments or questions about Commissioner Johnson's resolution? All right, would you prompt the vote?
There's 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Wonderful, I'm so thrilled that that passed. Passed unanimously, which is, wonderful, wonderful testament, so. 9B is resolution affirming Oakland County's commitment to peace, humanity, and global compassion. Commissioner Hoffman moves, Commissioner Joliet seconds. Are we going, did you?
Okay, I am gonna say that, I feel we've just voted on a resolution and that this is somewhat redundant, so I'm gonna ask that it be taken off the agenda so that we can work on it further. We never did. I just think it's redundancy.
So are you moving to postpone?
Moving to postpone
To a date uncertain.
to a date uncertain.
Wait a minute.
Is there, wait a minute, there's a motion, is there a second for the motion?
I'll support it.
Commissioner Taylor seconds the motion.
We have a
Commissioner
motion on the
Joliet.
floor already, though.
I already made a motion.
Don't we have to deal with that
Well, the
motion
motion to
first?
postpone
Supersedes the motion.
supersedes the motion that's on the
Gotcha.
table.
Okay,
So now we're gonna have discussion on the motion to postpone. So Commissioner Hoffman.
well, I don't wanna postpone it. I brought this before the board. It was postponed at the last Lago meeting and now it's here now. And Commissioner Gershon said it hasn't been worked on. I talked to her from almost the beginning of this thing.
Not
And I
true.
said, if you, excuse me, you tell me when it's my turn to talk, Marcia, go ahead.
Let him speak.
We haven't talked about it at all.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
Commissioner Hoffman. Go
so,
ahead.
the day I introduced it, I didn't talk to you, but after that, you came up to me and wanted some improvements to it. I never, ever heard one word from you, then I brought it before the board.
It was your
and I-
resolution, so
Go
you
ahead.
should have
Tell
come
me
to
when it's my turn.
Commissioner
Tell me when it's
Gershon,
my
let
turn.
let
Sorry,
Commissioner
I'm
Hoffman
sorry.
finish and then I'll let you respond.
Okay.
And you keep saying that changes need to be made. that's a two-way street. I even called you before the last meeting and I said, if you have any changes, let me know. I've never, ever heard from you one time. And now you want to postpone it again. I object to that. You know what? It appears to me, this is the way the Democratic side punishes people. You do it constantly. Whatever your chairman says, you do it. We passed a unanimous resolution in here to pardon somebody. I know you think it's funny. This guy's been in prison for 38 years and everybody believes he wasn't guilty. I can't even get that on the consent agenda. The chairman tells me he has to talk to the county exec because somehow the county exec has to weigh in on this. Is it my turn still?
Commissioner
We're
Hall,
interrupting.
can we stick to the issue at hand?
Well, the issue is the way you treat other people, and you guys do exactly what you're told. Some days I don't even know why you even come here. You sign a proxy, you do everything he says. So he told me when I wanted to get it passed by this committee unanimously, and you should go on the consent agenda, right? It didn't. He said he had to talk to the county exec. Well, I went and talked to the county exec office and they said, we don't get involved in that. I took Dave Woodward aside before that meeting, told him the deputy county exec is here, go talk to that person, verify everything I said. And you know what he stood up there and said? Well, I haven't had an opportunity to talk to the county exec. That's not his lane if you want to talk about state.
Again, we're getting outside of the
But
issue
it's
here.
ridiculous. I brought a resolution here and I'd like it voted on. For somebody to say they didn't contribute or participate or they want some changes made, well, don't step up to the plate at the 11th hour and say, oh, I didn't do it. Am I supposed to take you by the hand and say, you know, I approached you a couple times. I even called you on the phone one day. I've never heard back from you.
Commissioner Grinson.
Not true. And this is not a referendum on Dave Woodward. I would appreciate we stick to the motion at hand
Okay, the
and
motion
stop
at hand is-
making
Commissioner
attacks on Dave Woodward. Dave Woodward acts on behalf, he does not act alone. He has support from this caucus. So you've attacked him a few times. I think it's inappropriate. I think the chair should have called you out of order. We're not attacking each other. You want to talk to Dave Woodward about your accusations, feel free, but.
I have.
Yes, so, and I agree that this is not an opportunity to point fingers at each other about things that have nothing to do with this issue that's before this committee right now. What we're discussing right now is whether 9B should be postponed indefinitely. We're not rehashing all of our grievances from the last umpteen years. And I very much frankly am offended by your accusation that I do whatever Dave Woodward said. That's
I watch it every
absolutely-
day.
I'm speaking now,
Okay, you're right.
and I'm entitled to defend myself against your accusation,
True.
which is completely unfounded. Your appearance of what I do does not reflect my decision-making. That's your interpretation of how I represent my constituents in my district. That is not how I go about it. So,
Right, and it's not true about all of you.
now, that's not what's in front of us. Any other comment or questions about the motion to postpone? Would you prompt the vote?
I'm sorry, what are we voting on?
On whether we're going to indefinitely postpone.
Forever.
Got it, okay.
Means
All
forever.
right.
You have 3 yeas and 3 nays.
Motion fails.
Oh, motion failed then.
Okay, so we're going ahead with 9B. Commissioner Gershenson.
So I'd like to make an amendment to 9B. Let me just get it in front of me. I'd like to remove the line I'd like to remove the mention of genocide. Genocide, when we voted on a genocide awareness resolution was years ago. I don't even remember when it was.
Let's see if we get a second for your motion first. Is there anyone who wants, Commissioner Taylor supports?
I find it condescending and insulting for people to tell me what I did at a time in my life. And this word is different today. This word has different meaning. It's very offensive to me. I can support the resolution, but I cannot support it with that reference to genocide.
Any other comment or questions about Commissioner Gershensen's motion to amend the resolution to remove? What exactly is that you want to remove?
It's the,
Tradition of standing, they can say tradition of standing with those impacted by injustice and displacement, but I don't want through its observance of Genocide Awareness Month in there. and
So
other
you're
expressions.
moving to remove the phrase through its observance of Genocide Awareness Month.
May I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
I don't understand why. Genocide is genocide. It's atrocious and it's murder, and so why don't, we had Genocide Awareness Month, but we can't refer to it now for what it is? It's genocide. Doesn't matter who's committing it. I don't understand. I'm just confused. Why don't, what is there about Genocide Awareness Month that doesn't apply to this? Somebody explain it?
Commissioner
I mean, that resolution referred to, I don't have it, I haven't read it in years, Bob, I'm not exactly sure, but I believe it referred to the Holocaust, I believe it referred to Rwanda and the Armenian Holocaust. That was, and I stand by that, absolutely, but this to me is a buzzword now, genocide, and it's very loaded and it will be very upsetting to many people as the only Jewish member on this board. I do take offense to that word being used in this context. And I'd like it removed and I can support the resolution, but otherwise I cannot.
So what should it say here then? Just
she's
take-
moved to remove in the,
Strike out through.
The observance of Genocide Awareness Month, so you can keep.
Oh, then it'd say everything else and other expressions of
expressions of
solidarity.
solidarity is fine.
Okay. That's what it takes.
so any other questions or comments on that motion? Would you prompt the vote?
This is on the amendment.
This is on the amendment, on Commissioner Gershensen's amendment.
Okay.
You have 6 yeas, no nays.
Thank you.
Great,
You're welcome.
motion passes. All right, any further comment or questions on the resolution itself as amended? Okay, can you prompt the vote?
You have 5 yeas and 1 nay.
Thank you. The motion passed. Okay, so we're moving to segment 10 for any other business. Commissioner Hoffman.
I want to get it resolved here that Kristen Nelson was elected by her district, her constituents. She is a member. She can't be arbitrarily removed because somebody's upset with her.
Committee assignments, when you become a commissioner, no one is guaranteed any particular committee assignments.
But she's
That is a decision by the caucus that she voluntarily withdrew from.
This body chooses.
Ma'am, you're out of order.
Please remember, this is a public meeting being recorded, so.
Correct, thank you,
Careful what
Commissioner
you say.
Cavell.
Oh, is that a prep?
No.
It's just,
It's unbelievable.
You're out of
Trying to
order
help
as
you.
well, Commissioner Cavell.
well, just trying to help out.
So
No, you're not.
my understanding is that the full board has to vote on committee assignments. And because some person in higher authority gets upset with a couple commissioners because those two commissioners disagreed, and we're not always going to agree on everything. And we all come from different backgrounds with different experiences, and we We are here to debate, ask questions, come up with a conclusion to a problem. But to eliminate a person because they object to something you say is just wrong. To me, it's like, I hate to say it, Washington DC. When I see that, I see them do it in Lansing. I think it's terrible. We all should be in the same room debating the issue, working on a solution and representing our constituents. And I've always said, and I believe you guys probably think this way too, we represent our constituent first and Oakland County second. And to not allow her to participate, or Charlie, to represent their constituents, just flat out wrong. And I don't think any of us should stand for that. I just can't imagine. And I said it earlier, if somebody did that to any of us in here, I'll bet you Charlie and Kristen and me and other people would stand up and defend you the same way. This is wrong.
Commissioner Taylor?
Madam Chair, I understand how you're explaining everything, but this meeting, in my opinion, is not the place for us to do that. That's a discussion with our chair and the full board.
Okay.
So I would ask that we not take that up here, that be referred to our chairman and the full board to discuss. Because we can't take an action on this right now.
Commissioner Julia?
So to piggyback on, well, both of you, just to condense it, we spent a lot of time every new term on creating board rules. And it is one of the board rules that that any changes to committees has to go before the board for approval. And the next board meeting is Thursday. So in my opinion, if we're truly there to follow the board rules we created, the members should be allowed a seat at the table. Now, to piggyback on what you said, I don't know how to, I guess, to get that to the full board without it coming from our committee for Thursday.
Someone could bring it up at the board meeting.
Add it to the agenda.
Like we're trying to do right now.
So
We have an approved agenda. That issue was not added to the agenda. So Commissioner Gershenson.
So I think this should be a caucus decision. And we will be meeting on whatever Thursday when it comes up, and we'll discuss it in the majority caucus.
That's fine, but the whole board votes on committee assignments.
I'm not
Right?
gonna argue it with you.
No, I'm just asking you, is that the procedure?
I will say that this was not an action taken by the board chair alone. There were 6 members of the majority caucus that signed on to the letter.
Was it public meeting?
So this was not a Dave Woodward action. So I do take offense when you repeatedly attack him and blame him for what's happening.
I'm not.
Commissioner Nelson and Commissioner Cavell resigned on their own volition. They were not asked to resign. They were not forced to resign. It was their choice.
I did not resign.
So we're kind of spinning our wheels here with this issue. I agree with Commissioner Taylor. This is neither the forum
It is.
nor this committee does not individually decide its membership.
It makes the recommendation.
So, Commissioner Taylor.
I don't believe the committee can override the chair, and that's why I said this is not, we can say whatever, but we cannot override the chair.
We can stand up to board rules.
And the board rule says 5 majority, from the majority caucus. If one says,
So,
but again, to me, this is not the place. We need,
Okay, no, I
the chair,
appreciate that,
the
but-
chair says,
It's not a matter of the chair, it's this committee.
Commissioner Nelson, please stop kibitzing or we're gonna have you removed from the room.
so that's all I have to say. I think that this is not the place, but.
Commissioner Lewis.
My understanding is that the interpretation is under review and we'll have a decision before the next board meeting.
interpretation of the board rule. Okay.
We're in undiscovered territory. The rules do not directly address what happens when somebody voluntarily exits from their caucus.
But they didn't exit as a county commissioner, they didn't exit, they didn't resign from a committee, they resigned from a caucus because they didn't like, for whatever reason, they
And these
chose not to do
commissioners have
that.
not been removed as commissioners. They are still commissioners.
I
They're
know,
still
but they have
entitled
to-
to participate in the board meetings. And they're still entitled to represent their commission, their constituents. They're still entitled to vote at the board meetings. Committee, no one is promised a committee seat.
Everybody's on a committee as a commissioner, some are on more than one. And
Some have been on none.
And that's the way it should be, because we all have something to contribute based on our background and what our desires are and who we represent. They should be allowed to be on a committee.
So let's do a point of order, please.
Okay.
Yes, Commissioner Taylor.
Point of order, so we could just move on, we could table this discussion to hear whatever our chairman has to say and
Yes.
move forward.
I think this is
Because
appropriate
we can't-
to refer this discussion to the Democratic caucus.
Yes.
Okay, any other business? Okay, hearing none, call the meeting adjourned at 9:30 a.m.
Good